But right now, let me do a little mini subject because it's a lot of questions in the Prison Planet message forum saying that Janie McCarthy, the bombshell blonde, the blonde bombshell, and others are starting to speak out about how the babies are 18 months old. They're blowing the candles out on the cake. They're talking. They're running around. They're happy. They're playing soccer. And they take the third round of shots. They have convulsions within hours. It's the mercury buildup. By the way, they haven't taken mercury out. They've increased it 5 times on average what it used to be. And there's all these hundreds of scientific studies, university studies, foreign governments. Japan's ordered the mercury out, 8 years ago? And it's against the law to give them to toddlers below the age of 2. I mean, this is a fact. This isn't our opinion. And by the way, you haven't stopped us. The truth's now out. Janie McCarthy on Oprah Winfrey for an hour talking about it. That's like 50 million people. So jig is up, and we're working on getting Janie McCarthy on. We had some news earlier here on a local station I'm broadcasting out of. Important news, just covering what the county, the city, the state's saying. I was talking about, hey, hurry up and get your flu shot. Because just because the flu vaccine, just because it's not a bad season yet and is off to a slow start, doesn't mean you shouldn't get protection. Here's the problem. You can pull AP Reuters on this. The last 5 flu seasons, the last 5 years, they have estimated incorrectly and picked the wrong flu because they try to look at the major couple hundred flus of the year and they try to pick which one it's going to be and how it's going to mutate. And then that's the flu shot they make for the year. So don't believe me, though. Just go research it, Google it. You'll find mainstream news, but never makes the big news, just news wires. Medical firms admit it. And so you're taking a flu shot filled with mercury that doesn't even cover you for the flu the last 5 years. Before that, they claimed, well, we did guess a flu, and it did help a little maybe. Here's the problem. They have major university studies that if you take more than 3 flu shots, your increase for Alzheimer's goes way up. And people are taking them 10 years in a row. Hey, don't let me get in the middle of your happiness and success, as they say. If you really think that's good, go ahead and take it. I know my mom was used to be a UT Masters swimmer, and she's really in good shape, unlike me. And she'll go out to an open water 2-mile swim, you name it. I mean, she used to do. But like 10 years ago, she used to do triathlons, and she used to, get silver medals and stuff at big ones. And she was getting ready for one. She said, yeah, I'm getting into training, and it's in a few months, and I don't want to get the flu, so I'm getting a shot. And I said, don't do it. It's deadly. My mom's never sick. It almost killed her. I mean, for 2 weeks, she was at death's doorstep. She almost had to go to the hospital. But again, don't listen to me. Maybe you got to find out yourself. Again, ladies and gentlemen, in my new film, Endgame, I have proof that through the vaccines, they're sterilizing us, and they are brain damaging us. All right. So, but you're not going to stop Oprah Winfrey. You're not. See, she's like a canary in the coal mine. When it gets to that level that it's on Oprah, that it's caused. I mean, folks, we had 1 in 25,000 27 years ago when they started keeping records had autism. Now it's 1 in 75. It was 168 before that, a few years ago. And don't tell me it's over-reporting. Look, when I was in high school, that was only 16, 17 years ago. I'm only 33. There might have been 1 child in the 5A school who was autistic. And I know I was a teacher's aide when I was a senior, so I went around to all the special ed classes. Because I'd finished most of my courses and, burning time going and doing that. But side issue. Now I took my children to see Ratatouille a few months ago, and I'm telling you, there were probably out of 300 people in that theater, I bet 40 of them were autistic. I mean, it was, and I would obnoxiously, I couldn't help it. After the showing, I'd walk up and say, let me guess, your son's what, 10 now? Oh, he's 11. Did this happen at 18 months, 3rd round? Yeah. I mean, folks, and I just started going down the line. I just couldn't control myself. And I was like, well, heaven's sakes, don't tell other people not to do it. And then I go, you're going to respond and say, why is it mainly boys? 80% boys. You're going to respond. Your doctor told you that. That if it was the mercury, why is it hurting boys? Claiming it's genetic. It is genetic. Boys, at a great percentage of the time, have, girls, it's incredibly rare, don't have a particular gene. The gene isn't turned on that allows your gut, that is your small and large intestine, to pass mercury. Well, it's the same film that is similar to a blood-brain barrier that is in the brain. So it allows the blood-brain transmission of mercury. So it's many times worse for those boys because they are missing the gene. The gene is not active. Okay, so see, I know all the arguments. I know all the bull. I know all the talk. It doesn't lie. By the way, we have over 200,000, and this has been in the Chicago Tribune and other major papers because there's a lot of Amish in Illinois. It broke last few years. Major university studies, the Amish do not have it. Never had it, never had one case of it, never seen it. Oh, 200,000 Amish. 200,000 Amish in a population now with 1 in 75 that has it, and none of them have it. They're big Amish communities of tens of thousands per community. Go up to Illinois. Go to Ohio. Go to New Hampshire. Go. I've interviewed medical doctors who've gone and checked out the studies for themselves. It's true. They're nowhere. They don't exist because they don't have mercury in their brains. So all I want is the truth. All I do is research this stuff. All right, welcome back. Oh, and why is Janie McCarthy out public now with her husband, another well-known actor? Because they had 2 children that were perfectly healthy, and they had a boy, 18 months, give him the 3rd round of shots. Everything she'd heard about it. She heard about it from other Hollywood stars that had warned her, like Charlie Sheen and people. He goes around warning everybody. His children haven't had him. And she said she had a bad feeling, gave him the shot, convulsions, gone, autistic forever. I mean, and by the way, used to it was the shaken baby. You give them the shots, they go into the convulsion sometimes with the first round. And if you went home and the child had the convulsion, then they came and SWAT teamed you and said you'd abused them. But now they admit it's the vaccines.